Good evening. I see that some of you are already Jamboree students, so you would know about Jamboree. For those of you who are not Jamboree students, let me start by giving a very brief introduction about Jamboree and what we do. So we are in the space of training and counseling students for the universities that they want to target. We have been in this domain since 1993. So, in the last 32 years, we have counseled, we have trained more than 200,000 students. We do not do a lot of things. We do not do IIT JEE coaching or NEET coaching. We don't do all of that. We are very, very focused on a handful of things, and we believe in doing them very well. So we produce the highest number of 1450 plus scores on the SAT. Every year, more than 50 students, of Jamboree students, they get into the Ivy League colleges. In TOEFL and IELTS, we have the highest number of 8.5 scores and 100 plus scores, right? So if any of you, if you would like to have a one-on-one discussion about your profile, what country to choose for your bachelor's degree, what course to choose for your bachelor's degree, or in case you want to just need help with applications, no? Or if you want to attend a demo SAT class to see where you stand. If you need any of these, do leave your number in the chat. Our team should reach out to you and we'll schedule these for you. Right? You done whatever you are typing on the chat, those messages are coming only to me. So you don't have to worry about other people seeing your numbers, etc. The agenda of today's session is to talk about the various country options available to students, to Indian students. Now that if they're thinking of studying beyond bachelor's degrees, after class 12, etc. Earlier, SAT, IELTS, TOEFL, these meant only going abroad. But that's not the case anymore. There are a lot more countries, not a lot of available countries that we'll talk about, right? Lot more options in Asia, no, a lot more options, in New Zealand, Australia. So we'll be talking about quite a lot of those, right? Okay. And after the session, there will also be a Q&A. So if you have any other countries in mind, then also you can ask, right? So we'll try to cover the most popular destinations that Indian students target. And beyond that, if there are other countries that you want to talk about, that you want to ask questions about, we'll cover in the Q&A session. So during the initial part of this session, I would request you not to type your questions in the chat because it's highly possible that I may miss out on those questions. So if you have any particular questions, do leave those, do hold on to those till the end of the session, right? And in the meantime, if you have to, as I said, if you have to leave early or if you would like to have a more one-on-one discussion, then do leave your numbers in the chat for us to schedule those sessions later tomorrow or maybe early part of next week. Okay, first, the first country, just hang on. The first country will talk about is the UK. Right? Traditionally, UK has been the country of choice for Indian students. Whether it is Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, a lot of days, I'm talking about historically, So UK has been the country of choice. Right? A lot of very reputed Indians have studied in the UK. They have got lots of prestigious universities. Everyone in India would know the names of Oxford and Cambridge. So in terms of the reputation of the college, UK hosts a lot of these this prestigious universities. If you look at the QS World Rankings, you will find a lot of UK universities, in the top 100. Okay. The application process is quite straightforward. In terms of admission requirements, you do not need the SAT. So, in case you are looking for a country to go to without taking the SAT, then UK is one of those countries. UK universities do not need SAT. They are okay with IELTS. Some of the top universities like Oxford, Cambridge, they have their own entrance tests, by the way. But yeah, you would not need to take the SAT, right? So in the context of quality, so you may have heard of the word Ivy League universities in the US, right? So the equivalent lingo in UK is called the Russell Group. So if you want to know like what are the good colleges, then Russell Group universities, so you would know that these are the most prestigious, good quality universities. So I always believe that the for a bachelor's degree, a student should go to a good quality college. The bachelor's degree is the first major academic accomplishment in a CV, in a resume. When your child or when you would apply for jobs later on, the recruiters would start with your bachelor's degree. That is the first major academic accomplishment. So the quality of the college has to be number one priority. Then countries and everything. Right? So if you think on those terms, then yes, UK has a lot of these top universities in the QS World Top 100 rankings. So these are some of the popular universities that Indian students go to. Feel free to take screenshots, by the way, at any point of time. If you want to take screenshots of the university, of the information, please feel free to do that. So, London School of Economics, Oxford, Cambridge. By the way, at the bachelor's level, if you are applying for a bachelor's degree, then you cannot apply to both Oxford and Cambridge. You will have to choose whether you want to apply to Oxford or Cambridge, right? And in the first go, you can apply to only 5 universities. So the application, the platform is called UCAS, and you have to choose which five colleges you want to apply to. Then once the admissions offers come in, so the if you get rejection, so if you want to add more, then later on around Feb March, you may be able to add other colleges. So in that sense, it's a slightly limiting. It's not that you can apply to 10 colleges or 12 colleges. You can't. In the first go, you can apply to only 5 colleges. So here, one guideline that I tell students is that if you are going to UK, go to the universities located in and around London. Right? So that will give you a lot of opportunities when you are looking for internships in your second year, third year. So it will give you a lot of flexibility. Or most of the companies are located in and around London, right? So London is their biggest hub in terms of industry, and then you have got some mini hubs in Birmingham, Manchester, Nottingham, but not as big as, never as big as London. So to increase your job prospects, do make sure that you go to a college located in and around London. Then the next country that Indian students like to go to is Canada. Canada has quite a lot of good universities, right? The After you're finishing your bachelor's degree, you can work up to 3 years there, and during this time you can get your PR done. It's very very easy to get your permanent residency done. So in case you want to study in a country where it is easy to get the permanent residency, easy to get the citizenship, then Canada is one of those countries. So the PR and the citizenship is not that straightforward in the UK, but in Canada it is quite straightforward. After doing a 3 year or 4 year bachelor's degree in Canada, you work for a year. I mean, you will get a PR, right? And then after a couple of years, you get the citizenship. So it gives you a lot of advantage. If the Canadian citizenship or the Canadian PR also allows you to work and intern in the US. US and Canada, they share borders, right? So we get a lot of students who are studying in Canada, but because they have got the PR, or even if without the PR, they can actually do internships in the US. To go as a student to do an internship in the US, or vice versa, you don't have to come to India to get your visa stamped, right? So that is another advantage. So you can get the benefits of both the countries, if you go to one of these countries, either US or Canada. Canadian universities are much cheaper than the US universities. And in terms of quality, the top Canadian universities like University of Toronto, etc., they are at par with some of the universities in the US. The only drawback is that there are not uh, too many good universities. Yes, the options are, you'll probably get 10, 15, but that's about it. It's not like the US or UK where there are a lot more universities. So the options are limited, but whatever options you have, they're good, right? So do look at the rankings. As I said, the QS World Rankings will give you a very, very good parameter, basis for eliminating options as well as for shortlisting options. These are some of the top universities that Indian students go to. University of Toronto is right up there. McGill is there, and British Columbia. So anyway, these are the top universities in Canada. Then comes Australia. Australia is fast emerging as one of the like top three destinations for Indian students for bachelor's degree. Now, why Australia? Very quite quite easy. The process of PR and citizenship is quite easy, just like Canada, right? Then it's a multicultural environment. Mostly everybody from Australia is like has come from somebody else, so it's very pretty. The environment is pretty multicultural, extremely good for some selected programs such as in hospitality, accounting, nowadays even computer science. So it's very, very friendly for those programs. But in case you're looking for mechanical engineering or hardcore engineering programs, then probably not Australia, right? For in the US, you have got the Ivy League universities. In Canada, in UK, you have got the Russell Group universities. In Australia, the top universities, the term is called Group of Eight, GO8. So Group of Eight universities. So if you're looking for Australian universities, the best universities are called the Group of Eight. So it's a group of eight universities. So that's the lingo, right? So if you're looking at universities, going through the websites, just check if it's a GO8 university, then yes, you can be assured of the quality. These are some of the top universities: UNSW, Melbourne, Sydney, Monash, ANU. So these are very popular universities among the Indian students. And in Australia, while you are doing your bachelor's degree, you can side by side work also. So that gives you a lot of flexibility and cost cutting measures. You can reduce your cost of living to a large extent. Then Ireland, right? So Ireland is fast coming up as an alternative to UK, right? UK is getting a little crowded. The getting into the top like London college is not that easy. You need to have very strong academics, to get into the like your LSE, LBS, Imperial, UCL, LCL. You need a lot of like lot of strong academics. So, but Ireland gives you the same benefits, right? So it is in Europe, closer to India, not like Canada or US, where if in case of emergencies, your families would need 24 hours to go there. But in Ireland, that's not the case. Ireland, UK, European countries are far closer to India, right, than US and Canadian universities. So in Ireland, and if we're looking at tech, computer science, all this for like Ireland is called the Silicon Valley of Europe, right? So 25% of the economy is IT solutions, IT services. So for people looking for computer science, information technology, cyber security, Ireland gives you very good options. And also students looking for business programs, business administration, marketing, digital marketing, finance, Ireland is a good option. But not for hardcore engineering. By hardcore engineering, I mean electrical engineering, electronics engineering, mechanical engineering. So Ireland is not a good place for that. Okay. So depending on what you want to do, your country choice options would vary. It's not a plain, simple process of looking at the rankings, looking at the expenses and deciding. You have to also see after that, after doing the bachelor's degree, you should have ample career opportunities. So choosing the country choice has to boil down to like what bachelor's degree you want to do, right? What career path you want to be on. In Ireland, because Ireland is much, much smaller than UK, so there are not too many universities. So, and that can be one of the downsides. But yes, whatever universities are there, they are great universities, very good options. I mean, as I said, you want to have names, such strong names in your CV, so that your CV becomes strong. The bachelor's degree college should have an impact on your recruiters, right? So you should be looking at good brand names. Then the US, right? The everybody knows about the US. If you are looking at the top 100 colleges, more than 60, 70 of them are US universities. No, the highest number of Nobel Prize winners, they come out of the US universities. In the US, there are close to 4,000 universities. So the top 200 universities in the US are often like better than like every university everywhere in the world put together, right? The quality of education is extremely high. You have got Nobel Prize winners as professors, right? So there's a lot of advantages, in the US, right? So and they are also the most generous when it comes to like giving scholarships, getting scholarships, etc. Right? So these are, I mean, and as I said, the focus should be on quality of education, right? And people worry about little bit about safety, yes, but having said that, Delhi NCR is probably more unsafe for women than any place in the US, right? So all of those things are there with every country. Little bit of, you face a little bit of racism in Australia, in New Zealand, in UK. You'll find there are bad elements everywhere. It's the safest place is your own room, your own house, but you cannot stay inside your room or inside your house forever, right? And the US is a huge country. You may hear like news about some gun violence here and there, but that happens in India also, right? So that, I mean, you would be seeing that in India also, right? If you look at you'll read news about rapes and corruption everywhere. Does that mean that it is there everywhere? It's not. Every country will have some bad elements and some good elements, so you have to you have to make a judgment call, right? But yes, the safest place in the world is inside your home, right? But you don't stay there forever. You have to step out at some point of time. If you are getting into an MIT, Stanford, Harvard, like Yale, like UCLA kind of colleges, then why not? Ultimately, the geopolitical situations are always temporary. Quality is permanent. The quality of the college that you get your bachelor's degree from, that is going to have a huge impact on your careers, right? So keep that in mind. I know that currently the narrative is that this Trump is there, that is there, but the thing is that it's temporary. I mean, by the time the bachelor's degree, you guys will get your bachelor's degree, 4 years from now, 5 years from now, the world would have changed. Right? The employment scenario, everything would have changed. Nobody can predict the future. Education is an investment. As I said, geopolitical situations, economic recessions, these are all temporary. But the quality after college that you do your degree from, that is going to be there in your CV forever. So keep that in mind, right? And not be swayed about temporary situations. So as I said, US has like the highest number of like top colleges. The Ivy League universities are top, like really untouchable top universities are there. And there's so many universities that even, colleges like MIT and Stanford are not Ivy League. Can you beat that? So so there's so many colleges, so many options for you to choose. There are colleges which will give you 100% scholarship if you get admission. There are colleges where you can get merit scholarships for the entire 4 years. So in terms of scholarships and aid money, US is untouchable. We had students studying currently at Harvard on full scholarships. We have students at Cornell at full scholarships. So if you work on your profile, then you will get really good universities in the US with scholarships. But yes, the key word here is if you work hard, right? It's very competitive as well. Then one up and coming destination in Europe is Netherlands, right? And Netherlands has come up post Brexit. So Brexit was an event where UK separated from the European Union. Okay, so after that event, a lot of the companies, global companies, they moved their European headquarters to Amsterdam. Amsterdam is the capital of Netherlands, and that has created a lot of job opportunities, in Netherlands, right? The Netherlands is an English-speaking country. Unlike a lot of other European countries like Spain, Germany, these are not English speaking countries. Like France, the degree may be taught in English in some colleges, but they are non-English speaking countries. So students face a lot of problems in when you go to a country where the language is not English. But in Netherlands is an English speaking country, massive advantage. And you have got good colleges and good jobs in every sector, right? From engineering to finance to IT, every sector, there are a lot of good jobs there, right? The only issue is that the number of universities, that number is little low as compared to other countries, and it is very very affordable as well. The universities give scholarship, plus it is very affordable. Another advantage of Netherlands is that the visa that you get, the student visa that you get, or the work permit that you get after doing your degree in Netherlands, that is valid in entire Europe. So you except UK, of course. So if you may have do your degree in from a college in Amsterdam, or from a college in Netherlands, any part of Netherlands, the work permit that you get would allow you to work in Sweden, Germany, and Poland, and all types of, all the other European countries. So that's a huge advantage. And as I said, there are a lot of students who are, or parents mostly, more than students, is primarily parents who are a little skeptical about going to US and Canada. Very, very understandable. So, in case you are looking for other options, then definitely, there definitely, Netherlands is one option, that one country option that you should consider. Right. By the way, I'm getting some messages in the chat that you're asking very specific questions about your profile and your budget, etc. So I'm not going to be able to take too many personal questions about your profile, etc. So, but if you would like to have any of those, then please leave your number in the chat. We will reach out to you. And there are, in terms of scholarships, though, US is the most liberal. You will not find like 100% scholarship in UK or Canada, or in other parts of Europe. You are not going to find that too many of those, right? So if budget is a constraint, or if you would like to get full scholarship, then US is your best bet, right? Okay. So these are some of the top universities in Netherlands. So you have, as I said, you have got universities, technical universities. So TU, TU stands for technical universities. There are technical universities, there are liberal arts universities, business universities, economics universities, humanities universities. So tons of good universities all across Netherlands, right? And they're very, very cost effective. Currently, we have about 6 students who started their programs in Netherlands this year, right? Very recently, and all of them are extremely happy. Okay. Then our next country is Germany, right? So Germany, again, for the last 3-4 years, we are hearing a lot of parents, lot of students asking questions about Germany. Right? Of course, Germany is extremely good, for technical as well as science-related programs. Not so much for humanities, etc. But if you're looking for pure science like physics, chemistry, maths, or engineering programs, Germany is like really probably one of the best in entire Europe, right? But the challenge here is that there are not too many English taught programs in the public universities. So in Germany, there are two types of colleges: public universities and private universities. Public universities, there are hardly any tuition. So the it's very, very cheap to study in the public universities of Germany, right? The public university of Germany, you would probably in a year you will end up spending just about 10-12 lakhs, on your just on your cost of living. That's it, right? Not too expensive. But in the public universities, there are not too many English courses. The English taught courses, the programs that are offered in English, they are mostly available in the private universities. And the private universities are almost, as expensive as anywhere in the world. So the public university, you would spend around 10 to 15 lakhs per year. Private university, you would probably spend around 40, 45, 50 lakhs per year, right? But yes, Germany is a very good destination. Lot of jobs. Of late, though, there is a little, housing problem coming up. So if you do want to apply to Germany for the next 2026 intake, then I recommend that you apply early, right? And like the moment you get your admission, start your housing process, book your housing. Even if you have to pay 1 or 2 months extra rent, it's worthwhile. This time we had students who had really with a hard time getting housing, and they then finally got housing at very high price, right? And one more point: if you're looking at Germany, though, you should also, by the time you are like, you get your visa, etc., you should also learn how to drive, right? After the first year or second year, you may want to live in your own apartment and drive to campus, right? Because as I said, there are not too many housing options available, plus they end up being very, very, expensive. Right. So, but yes, Germany has come up in a recent, like 3-4 years, as a very good destination. These are some of the top universities in Germany. As I said, at any point of time, if you want to take screenshots of the information, please do so. And in terms of lingo, TU9. So in Germany, the top technical universities, they are called TU9. TU9, 9 as the number. So TU9 universities, top universities for technical education in Germany. Right? And compatible, like very, very competitive all across the world. And if you want to check your eligibility, Germany is, by the way, very, very strict with academics. So in case you want to like check your eligibility, etc., some of you have left your numbers, would reach out to you. In terms of, see, even if in a foreign in a country where this language is not like English, right? So even if this course is taught in English, right? So in Germany, if you're going to a course that is taught in English, you may not be officially required to have any German proficiency, but I would strongly recommend that you start learning, German. German also, there's this, the exams are called Goethe exams, Goethe, right? So take those exams. It will improve your visa chances. It will help you get internships more easily. So if you're very, very serious about pursuing doing an education in Germany, then start learning German and take the Goethe exams. They are A1, A2, B1, B2 level, right? So at least A1, A2 you should clear. The B1, B2 you may not be eligible to give unless you are 18 years of age. But A1, A2 definitely you should clear those exams. They are not mandatory if you are doing the program in English. But as I said, it will be useful for you only. Otherwise, you will find that in Germany nobody speaks English, and you will be, yeah, not very comfortable. Then New Zealand, New Zealand is again the fastest growing destination for Indian students. Since last year, like Australia has reduced the number of international student visas. Canada has reduced the international student intake by half. US, they have reduced just international student intake. UK has reduced the international student intake by 30%, right? So, but New Zealand is the only country which is increasing their international student intake, right? So New Zealand, that is why, is the fastest growing market for Indian students. So it's good news as well as bad news. Bad news because it is going to be more competitive, and good news because yes, it's a beautiful country, very, very easy to get PR, very, very easy to get citizenship. So definitely it's a like great destination to go to. Only issue is that in the QS top 100, you will probably find only two, three New Zealand universities. Right? Most University of Auckland is one of those, obviously. The University of Otago is one of those, but you will find just about two, three universities in top 100. So it's in terms of quality of education. If you're not getting into these two, three universities, uh, then probably reconsider going to New Zealand. As I said, the focus should be on getting into a very good college so that your CV holds value tomorrow. Even if you want to come back to India and work here, right, your degree should still have a lot of prestige, right? So do focus on going to a top college. Otherwise, yes, it's very, very affordable. Even if you do want to do a program like expensive program like MBBS, that also you can cover within 3 crores, right? So MBBS programs usually are the most expensive programs because they're 6 year programs. But even those are like easily within 3 crores in New Zealand. The regular engineering programs, they are well within 1 crore, right? So these are some of the top colleges, as I said, University of Auckland and Otago are the top two. Then you have got the other universities. Now let's come to Asia. Right? For parents, Asia is a hot destination. Why? Because it's very, very close by India, very close to India. So Singapore from Delhi, it's a 5.5 hour flight. So your parents can literally visit you every month if they want to. And from security perspective, the rules are very, very strict there. Crime rates are very, very low, right? It's a small country, very strong police system, so crime rates are very, very low, right? And as I said, very close to India. They give lots of scholarships. This year we had if you get more than 95% in your class 12 exams, 95, 96%, then you can get up to full scholarship in Singapore universities. This year we had a student who had a 96% or 97% and got a full scholarship. So if your academics are good, class 12 marks, not just academics, If in class 12 you can manage more than 95%, then there is a very high probability that you will get full scholarship there. So and in Singapore, they have got some top universities such as NUS, NTU, SMU, etc. And only thing is that they're very, very competitive. I mean, the jobs are good. They're very, very, no, like, I mean, like in terms of expenses, much, much, cheaper than the rest of the world. So because of all these reasons, a lot of Indian students apply to the Singapore universities, which pushes up the competition. So if you're academic, if you're if you want to take a shot at the Singapore universities, then from class 10th onwards, 10th, 11th, 12th, you have to start working on your school percentages. Anything less than 90% would make it very difficult for you to get admission to a Singapore college, right? But yes, as I said, Indian students, Singapore, almost everybody ends up applying because they're extremely good colleges and very, very cost effective. Right? So in Singapore, you would not need any other exams. If you are from a state board, then you may have to take the SAT. But if you are from CBSE, ICSE, etc., then you would not need any SAT or anything in Singapore. Just your school marks plus the application. Application is a non-negotiable thing. The application would have essays, letters of recommendation. All of the applications the applications are required everywhere else, right? So these are some of the top universities of Singapore. You have got NUS, NTU, traditional colleges, and you would find a lot of Australian and UK universities. They have campuses in Singapore, right? Then Hong Kong, similar to Singapore, Hong Kong, high quality universities, great location, very good job placements, safe countries, all of that, everything is there. And the same problems also. They have limited number of universities, therefore it's extremely competitive. Not as competitive as Singapore, but still, you would anything less than 80%, Hong Kong would be difficult to get into. Right? So if you want to target these Asian colleges, Singapore, Hong Kong, etc., then do focus on your school academics and your co-curricular profile. Co-curricular profile means you have to be able to convince the university why you are applying for the degree. If you are applying for computer science, you should have done couple of projects or couple of things outside your school curriculum related to computer science. So that is called the co-curricular profile. And that co-curricular profile becomes very important whenever you are applying to colleges or whenever you are applying to countries which do not require SAT. Okay. So these are the some of the top universities in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is again just like Singapore, very good with almost all programs, be it medicine or engineering or economics or business or humanities, good for all the programs. Okay, then UAE, it's a up and coming destination. It has caught the interest of the Indian expats, especially in the last 2-3 years. A lot of the quite a few of top universities, in the US, they have their campuses in UAE. So NYU, Abu Dhabi, Haribot, then you have got RIT. So they have campuses, in UAE. So the application process is exactly the same as the US universities. Now, not in it's not in UAE, but in Qatar also you have got Carnegie. Carnegie Mellon is the number one computer science university in the world. So Carnegie Mellon has a campus in Doha. So we have got students who have applied for Carnegie Mellon Doha instead of Carnegie Mellon US, right? But yes, the application requirements, the test score, the cutoffs they remain the same. As I said, a lot of the Middle East, expats, Indian expats, they prefer to go to the universities in UAE and Qatar, etc., instead of going to the US or any other country. But yes, uh, I mean, some of you may have probably already visited Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Great job opportunities, very safe countries. So very low crime rate. So these are again good countries, good destinations that you can consider. BITS Pilani also has a Dubai campus, right? So BITS, you get a BITS Pilani name and the intercultural or a diverse classroom, diverse campus of Dubai, right? So it's a win-win situation. Right? So look at so these are some Asian countries that you should look at. If you want to expand your options, think outside of like US and Canada, all those traditional destinations like US, Canada, UK. So these are some of the top universities in UAE. And let's now talk about India. So earlier, as I was saying that, if people talked about SAT, or people talked about, okay, I see a message in the chat saying that you have to go. Okay, so if anybody wants to leave, you can feel free to do that. But if I haven't been able to cover some of the countries that you want to look at, do leave your number in the chat. We'll call up and have a discussion with you. And your whatever you're typing in the chat, those messages are coming only to the host. So yeah, don't have to worry about other people seeing your messages. All right. So now in India, now the education, the whole landscape, it changed in 2014, right? 2014 was the year when Ashoka University was started. And Ashoka, some of you would know Ashoka University. It's in Sonepat. So Ashoka University like it started out as a liberal arts university, very, very similar on the lines of the US universities. They accept SAT scores. They have the same application system. They have a holistic admission criteria. That means they look at everything, not just your academics, test scores, essays. There's an interview round also, a holistic kind of evaluation process. And after that, other Indian universities also started adapting, right? Adopting the same thing. Then a newer universities opened up, like Plaksha University, OP Jindal, Kriya University, Flame University. Then Narsi Monji started taking the SAT and having similar kind of admission process, right, for students wanting to do bachelor's degree in business there. Thapar University, for the engineering programs, they started accepting SAT and having the same evaluation process. So a lot of Indian universities nowadays, the number has actually expanded every year. About 10, 15, 20 Indian universities are moving to this, that they are giving students the option to use the SAT score and like subject themselves to to a holistic evaluation process, right, which is helping a lot. Mahindra University in Hyderabad, we get a lot of students who go to Mahindra University in Hyderabad, right? Nasi Monji in Hyderabad. Then you have got Shulini. There are tons of universities now in India where you do not have to go via the traditional path of taking the JE exam or the CUET. You don't have to go that path. You prepare for only one exam, which is the SAT. You can use that SAT score to apply to the US universities, the some of the Singapore universities, universities in Italy, universities in India. So you, as a student, your life becomes easy. There's only one thing you are doing. You're preparing for the SAT, and you're working on your profile. That's it. You do not have to spend like 5 hours a day preparing for JE or CUET and or God knows what, right? So Indian universities are opening up, giving you more and more such options. So this is not a comprehensive list, but there are, as I said, there are a lot more universities in India now, right, which are open to accepting the SAT scores and having the similar type of application process where you apply with your essays and letters of recommendation and everything. It's no longer just mark based system. These are what we call the new age Indian universities, and a lot of the older universities like Shivnadar and all, they have also adopted this a lot, to a large extent. So that's about it. So these are some of the destinations that students, our students are expanding to away. I mean, not just the US, UK, and Canada. Those were the highest, the top three countries that Indian students used to target. But now they have expanded to these countries. If anybody wants or has questions about any other country that I may not have covered today, you can raise your hand, and I will give you mic access, and you can ask the question. So somebody wants to know about South Korea. Yes, South Korea. There are English taught programs, which is good news, and they accept SAT, right? So the SAT scores are also accepted in the South Korean universities. So like you have got University of South Korea. I mean, there are quite a lot of universities. They're good for uh, technology programs, right? Technology and science programs. So, but if you're looking at humanities related programs like economics and all, then South Korea is not the country to go to. But technology and science programs, South Korea is really good. So if anybody has any questions, you can raise your hand, as I said. So neuropsychology in Korea is good. Yeah. But I would also add some other countries like Sweden is a good, Germany is a good destination for those. Because in South Korea, uh, like the language problem is there. You have to, and Korean is not an easy language to learn. If you're already learning it, it's fine, but otherwise it's a difficult language to learn. See, German, French, Spanish, they're still, they're easier to learn as compared to a Korean language. Because somebody wants to know about Japan. Now, in Japan, at the bachelor's level, you would not find like there are hardly any universities which offer English taught programs. You can have some courses and make a degree of your own, but otherwise not too many options. Moreover, in Japan, if you want to work after your bachelor's degree, then you must have the Japanese language test is called JLPT. In JLPT, N3 proficiency you must have to be able to get a job. So if you are really serious about Japan, start learning Japanese. So there's a Japanese Education Foundation is there. They would help guide you around that. So where you can learn the Japanese language, take these exams. The JLPT exams are conducted in India twice. Right? Take these exams, and you will need to have N3 level proficiency to even to get admission. And even if you by chance get admission, then to get like admission to get jobs, etc. Okay. Same thing whether it's masters or all, I mean, in Japan you would need that, right? So global business admission in South Korea, that's a good degree to go to. You would need to take the SAT for that. Spain and Italy, as I said, in Italian education system is very similar to German education system. In public universities, there are no fees, right? There is no tuition, right? So the public universities you can study well within 10 to 15 lakhs a year, but the private universities, so the private university you will they are like 40-45 lakhs per year, right? And SCT is required, so that's in all the public universities. SCT, there is their own test versus SAT. The SAT is easier to score, right? So you will need to take the SAT exam. In Spain, SAT is not required. But again, in Spain, you would not find too many technical degrees. Some business programs, some Spain, France, Sweden, the similar kind of requirements that your academics have to be good. Your language, yes, in France, you have to take the. It's good if you get take the DELF exam. In Spain, if it is good if you have take the DELE exam, right? It's good, not mandatory. Right. So anyway, uh, so that's I think some of you are asking questions about masters. So this session is for bachelor's degrees, not for master's degrees. But there are more programs available in English language, the various countries for masters than in bachelor's degree. So if somebody wants to do a master's in Germany, Japan, so there are a lot more courses available that are taught in English. Okay. And if anybody has any specific questions related to your profile, if you're asking me questions about your chances of getting scholarship, etc., I need to know more about you, about your academics, what degree, etc. So for those, I would need to have a conversation with you, right? So please leave your number in the chat. If there are no questions, if you do not have any questions, you can feel free to leave. Have a great weekend. Some of you are still typing. So yes, if you would like to have any, then you can leave your number in the chat. Have a great weekend, everyone.